My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Storm Collectibles Golden Axe Skeleton 2-pack. And so here we have the Storm Collectibles Skeleton Golden Axe 2-pack posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the skeletons, let's actually see what they come with. Both skeletons do come with 5 pairs of hands. We do get a pair of bony fists. We get a pair of bony relaxed hands. We get a pair of style pose hands. We get a pair of trigger finger hands. And then we also get a pair of grip hands. Each skeleton does come with their very own sword, which they can hold in their grip hands. And then we get a left and right shield. And I do like the fact that the shields have to go either on the left or the right arm, depending on which one you have them posed with. Other than that, the skeletons don't really come with anything else. So let's actually take a closer look at their details. And so here we have a closer look at the Storm Collectibles skeleton, and I really like the way this figure came out. I really love this 2-pack. It's something that you can use as army builders, or you can just have 2 skeletons walking around and it still looks really nice. And I love the detail that Storm Collectibles put on these guys. As you can see, they did a really good job with the skull. Now, it's not the cartoony Golden Axe that we saw, or Golden Axe skeleton that we saw on the top of the packaging, but it's still a realistic skull or skeleton, and it looks really nice. I do like the way it came out. They did paint the eyes black as well as the nose, so that it does create that crevice effect. And the teeth are nicely sculpted. You can make them out in that. And something I do like is that the jaw is articulated, so you can have them with their mouths closed, or you can have them with their mouths open. Taking a look at the rest of the figure, really love the way they did the rib cage. The rib cage is a really nice piece, and they did a really good job capturing the anatomy of a skeleton. For the most part, it is almost 100% accurate. I do think the scapula should be a little bit bigger, but again, I'm not 100% sure on the anatomy, but I really love the paint. It's not really bone, because bone would have more of an amber tint to it, so these are like a white bleached skeleton. For reals, the skeleton should be about that color, this color of their joint, but they did add a really nice whitewash throughout. And you can see I do have the skeleton with his fist right now. Again, you do get 5 pairs of hands with each skeleton, so a total of 20 hands, but you get 2 pairs of each one, so you get 2 fists, 2 pairs of everything, so I do like that. Having a look at the spine, that's a little bit where the sculpt does break up. You can see the ball joint connecting the lower back to the upper part of the back, and then the lower back into the pelvis. We do have a really nice tailbone painted right here. The hips are done really nicely. I do like the detailing on those hips. And then you can see they do have ball joints going into the leg, coming out into the femur, which I think the femur is a little bit short. I think it should be just a little bit longer. But then we go on to the shins, and the shins are nicely done. Having a look at his feet, those are really nice bony feet. Now, understandably, they didn't make it 100% anatomically correct, because then he really wouldn't stand, and it would be a pain in the behind to do all that. But I really do like the look on this figure. It's simplistic, but you can do this looking nice, and Storm Collectibles has nailed it. I think there's only one piece that I would change on it personally, but we'll get into that in articulation, because that's where we'll have a better look at it. So before we move on to the articulation, let's actually get them posed next to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we do have the Golden Axe skeletons posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have the Golden Axe skeletons posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 112 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we do have the skeletons posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually go through their articulation, because despite the way they look, they actually have quite a bit of articulation. Let's move him off to the side. We do have a ball joint right here in the head, so he can look down really nicely, can look up, can tilt to the side, to the other side. We get full range of movement in the head, which works really nice, and that does rotate left and right. As I stated before, they do have articulated jaws, so that does move up and down. Now, I really do wish that they threw a ball joint right here at the base of the neck, just so we got more movement in the neck, because even though this ball joint looks really good, a ball hinge would have really helped here in the neck. Speaking of which, we do have ball hinges right here at the shoulders. So the shoulders are connected via ball hinge, although they do go out a little bit. That's pretty much how your arm actually is. It does a full 360, no problem. We do have rotation up high at the shoulder. We have a single bend at the elbow, giving us close to 90 degrees, and that joint does rotate as well. We do have rotation right here at the forearm. We do have a ball hinge here at the wrist, so we have up and down movement. We can turn that joint to have in and out movement, so I do like that, as well as rotation on that pin. We do have another ball hinge right here in the torso, so he does lean back about that far, can crunch forward about that far, which is really good, and we can turn that peg around, and then we now have side to side movement, so that works really nice. I do like that. Then we also do have another ball hinge right here at the waist, so he does lean forward about that far. So combining both joints, we get a lot of range in the skeleton, so I do like that. And just like with the upper torso bend, you can rotate that ball joint and get even better side-to-side movement. And of course, it does rotate nicely. We do have ball hinges, or we have a ball and socket connecting the hip, so that does drop down. It does move up, goes forward and back. I kind of wish that they did that with the shoulder, but unfortunately they didn't. Legs do go out to the side all the way, no problem. Nothing hindering them, nothing getting in the way. Legs kick all the way up just as nicely. Go back down. Although it is a little bit stiff, I may have to loosen that just a little bit. We do have rotation right here at the thigh. We have a single bend at the knee, giving us a little better than 90 degrees. And that does rotate here and rotates down here. So we have rotation at the connection point at up high and down low. And then we have a hinge in the foot, which goes back and forward. We can rotate that around. We do have forward facing pin for rocker ankle. And then we have a toe hinge, which goes pretty decent. I like the range on the toe hinge. So overall, we got pretty good range on these skeletons, and I do like the fact that they are nicely articulated, so you can get them in just about any pose you can think of, which is nice. So what we're going to do now is get these skeletons posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Storm Collectibles Golden Axe Skeleton 2-pack pose for my final thoughts. And overall, I really do like this set. I think it's a really great army builder of the undead. And Storm Collectibles has done a fantastic job just making these skeletons posable, but also have the same aesthetics that you would want an unholy skeleton army to have. As you can see, I do have 4 of them. I did buy 2 of the skeleton 2-packs just so I could have a little skeleton army. And you know what? I'm really excited I did, because they do come with enough variety that you can change them up, or you can just have them all sword-wielding undead people who just want to like kill the living. And that's something that I'm planning on showing off in the photos. But if you are a fan of Storm Collectibles and these skeletons are right up your alley, I recommend you pick them up, especially because they pose well, they look good. You can throw them into just about any display, which is probably the most fun you'll have with them. Now, if you are planning on getting these, I did pick my setup off Big Bad Toy Store, and when I picked my setup, they were $50. However, not Storm Collectibles, Big Bad Toy Store has increased the price of the Skeleton 2-pack to $70. So if you are planning to pick this up, you will be paying an upwards of $70 or more, depending on your vendor of choice. Like I said, Big Bad Toy Store does have them for $70, and they are still available. If you can catch them on a sale, I really recommend you do. But I don't know how long they're going to be there, because they're a really nice army builder, and I can see people picking up multiples, like 3 or 4 boxes of these guys, just because they look good and they pose really nicely. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Storm Collectible and all my other action figure reviews. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time guys, I'll see you later. Take care everyone.